Welcome back to For the Love of Surgery, Textbook Edition.
I'm the greatest in the game. Everybody knows my name. Put your hands in the air, fellas. And all the ladies do the same.
In this episode, we're exploring Chapter 6, Biomedical Science and Minimally Invasive Surgeries. This chapter brings together technology, safety, and precision. 3 things that every surgical technologist must master. You'll learn how computers, electricity, robotics, and alternative energies like lasers and ultrasounds are all transforming modern-day technology, and what your role looks like in today's high-tech environments. We're going to take our time and break it down one system and one innovation at a time, okay? Computers are part of nearly every step of the perioperative care, from scheduling and charting to equipment checks and documentation. But starting with the basics, you have your computer. A computer system includes, hardware like your monitor and keyboard, your software like the EMRs or electronic medical records, and your CPU or your central processing unit, and that runs the whole operation. Understanding how to navigate word processing, emails, and of course internet browsers are definitely all essential. You'll use these for digital checklists, supplies orders, and communication between different departments. And yes, professional communication online definitely does matter, especially in 2025. So you want to avoid plagiarism in reports, make sure you maintain patient privacy, and always use secure platforms to protect sensitive information. Remember, HIPAA is real. Them people will come for you. So as a surgical technologist, you could be expected to access EHRs or electronic health records and communicate clearly with other departments via secure messaging systems or emails and things of that nature. So your digital footprint does matter as a surgical technologist as well. Everything you access is part of a legal medical record. So always keep that in mind, okay? So beyond communication, computers also power patient care systems, right? So your anesthesia machines, those are connected to monitors that, they track your vitals in real time. So that's very important. Inventory and instrument tracking are managed electronically to ensure that nothing is left behind. So it's not just up to pen and paper and the mind of sometimes our forgetful selves. And also sterilization records and surgical preference cards and robotic settings. Those are all digitally managed. So in short, if you can't work with computers, you may struggle in today's operating room. But that's okay, because you're going to stay coachable, because this is a ever-revolving field and you have to be ready to learn for the rest of your career, honestly. Next, the Electrosurgical unit, or the ESU, or the BOVI. Everybody knows it as the BOVI, but a BOVI is one specific name brand. Everything else is an ESU. Kind of like the idea of Pepsi, Coca-Cola, or just calling it soda. So that electrosurgical unit uses high frequency electrical currents to cut and coagulate tissue. And coagulate just means to stop the bleeding. So understanding how electricity behaves in the operating room is absolutely non-negotiable. So here's some basics. The generator creates the electrical energy. The active electrode, or the pencil, delivers it to the patient. And then the patient return electrode, aka the grounding pad, which sticks to the patient, safely returns the energy back to the generator. As a surgical tech, you want to make sure you're checking that the grounding pad is properly placed on well vascularized tissue. Now, the nurse or circulator does that, but it does not hurt for us to keep eyes on that as well. You also want to confirm that the ESU settings are correct for the procedure, so make sure there's not on 100 and 100. And never let the active electrode or the pencil rest on the patient or the drapes. Don't do it, because electrical safety protects everyone, definitely the patient, but also you. And we don't want no fires. We don't want any fires, baby. A great thing is that modern technology isn't just about scalpels and instruments. So let's break down the alternative energy sources. So number one, there's lasers like CO2 or Nd:YAG, and these provide precise cutting or ablation with minimal tissue damage. We also have plasma energy, which uses ionized gas for dissection and coagulation. Then some of my favorite, which are ultrasonic devices like the harmonic scalpel, which uses high frequency vibrations to cut and coagulate with very little thermal spread. Now, these devices are powerful and they're not risk-free, okay? As a surgical tech, you want to ensure safety eyewear is used with all lasers, not just regular glasses. There's safety goggles, safety eyewear. Maintain sterile barriers around lasers or energy devices. You want to make sure you're watching for insufflation failure or arching, which can cause patient burns. And then always be aware of where the foot pedal is. And also emergency shutoffs. If you activate it, you are responsible for it. Integrity. Now, if y'all newbies here know anything, you know that minimally invasive surgery has definitely changed the game. But why, right? There's smaller incisions, less bleeding, faster recovery, reduced infection risk, shorter hospital stays, which means more money in the facility's pockets. And of course, for the patient, that means faster healing. And for you, it means being proficient with laparoscopic equipment, insufflation, and camera navigation. Now I don't want to hear no excuses because y'all using y'all cameras and y'all phones every day. Now, accessing the abdomen or thorax in minimally invasive surgery requires some precision tools. So you have your trocars, which are inserted through the skin to create access points. You have your insufflators, which pump CO2 or carbon dioxide to create working space so it will inflate the abdomen. You have your cameras and light cables to transmit visuals to an external monitor, and you will be responsible for connecting the equipment correctly, confirming that the lenses are defogged and the scope is clear, passing instruments without disrupting the view. And always keep in mind that if the surgeon can't see clearly, especially in these minimally invasive laparoscopic robotic cases, you're the first person they're looking to. Now we slide into robotic surgery. The surgeon controls instruments from a console while the robot performs the movement inside the patient. We as surgical technologists are kind of like that bridge between the surgeon and the machine. Our role includes loading robotic instruments into the arms, monitoring collisions and resistance or equipment issues. Remember, with these robotic surgeries, once your surgeon breaks scrub, they're at the console and they can't see what's going on the field. They can only see what's happening inside of the patient. So our eyes are paying attention to everything going on directly within the sterile field during the procedure. And then, it's always good to have some type of backup plan just in case there's a system failure or something goes awry. Because no, the robot does not think for itself. It's not autonomous. You are absolutely essential during these cases. So if you know me, you know one of my favorite places to be is the Hybrid OR, which is a high-tech surgical suite equipped with advanced imaging tools, allowing real-time visuals during complex procedures. Now, the benefit of these procedures include greater surgical accuracy, less need for multiple procedures, reduced patient transport, which then in turn reduces infection risk. And for us as surgical technologists, our job is to coordinate the sterile fields around the imaging equipment, right? So those big C-arms. Protect yourself and everyone in the room from radiation exposure. Sometimes people come in the room and not realize that there's x-rays and there's fluoroscopy, which is a continuous imaging being taken. We know because we're on the field exactly in the moment that the surgeon is using fluoro, exactly the moment that they're taking a shot or they're taking an image. So it's up to us to also communicate that with everyone in the room. And then also supporting interdisciplinary teams. So your surgeon, the rad tech in the room, your circulator in the room, sometimes the medical students, residents, first assists, even the CRNA and the anesthesiologist. We're all working together in this very unique space. Just know that this is, hybrid rooms are definitely the future of a lot of surgery. So you got to really be in it. So what's our takeaways from all this? This chapter showed us how science and surgery are becoming one and the same. Whether you're navigating digital records, managing electrosurgical safety, or docking a robot arm, you and I are part of a new generation of surgical technologists who don't just understand the body, but also the technology that treats it. The two come together, right? Now, in our next video, we'll take a deeper look into chapter 7, where we'll discuss principles of asepsis and sterile technique. Although this is a textbook edition series, I want you guys to go ahead and drop a comment of anything that you'd like to see me discuss in a later video, because I'm here for y'all. I can't help y'all if y'all don't help me help y'all. So help me help you. Let me know what y'all want to see in another video. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
I'm the greatest in the game. Everybody knows my name. Put your hands in the air, fellas. And all the ladies do the